I'm here today with one of my two sons and two of my grandchildren, and have them and others in the family to cherish, confirming the miracle of continuity of who we are and will always be. So today, on our Yom HaShoah, nearly 8 decades after the beginning, we remember the uniqueness of the Holocaust among genocides. Its history and legacy still touches the very core of human understanding and challenges our notion of civilized society in which a highly cultured, modern, industrial nation became perverted during the Third Reich and made mass murder of an entire people national policy. No matter who they were, what nationality they were, Jews were to be persecuted and exterminated across all borders. Today, we honor and remember the 6 million Jews, 1.5 million of them children, who were murdered in cold blood during the Holocaust. We remember not only the tragic deaths, but also the lives of each and every one. The shopkeepers, the carpenters, teachers, students, parents, children. Today, we mourn all the unborn, the mothers, the husbands, fathers, sisters and brothers, cousins, grandparents, uncles and aunts, and neighbors. They were never given a chance. Today, we remember those who could never share with us their gifts, their talents, that could enrich our lives. The poets who were silenced, the composers whose music never filled our senses with beauty, the painters who left the canvases blank, the writers whose books were never written, the scientists, the philosophers, the inventors, all those who could have contributed to a greater world for the benefit of future generations and even the perpetrators. We remember the Jewish destroyed centers of learning and lifestyles from Salonika, Greece to Vilna, Lithuania. We remember the courage of some nations like Denmark, Albania, and Finland for their extraordinary efforts to protect their own Jewish communities. We remember the millions of murdered non-Jews and the absence of an Israel in those wartime years, an Israel that would have offered a haven when so few countries were willing to accept Jewish refugees. We also remember with awe the rescuers and the very act of rescue, as well as the victims. And we remember the suffering of Holocaust survivors, whose scars haunt into future generations. Survivors who endured and yet have contributed so much to the world with their lives. We remember because we must. As it is written in the Talmud, he who saves one life has saved the world. And as Jews we're commanded to do lo tishkach, not to forget, and zachor, to remember. We also have the responsibility to fix the world that we leave to our descendants. I'm horrified that in my own lifetime there are again individuals and even countries that freely deny the Holocaust, while at the same time threatening another Holocaust in Israel and worldwide. We know that there is again a need to hear those voices that have the moral courage and strength to confront and act as interested voices, the partisans, and those who resisted spiritually and physically and simply said, no. To quote James Baldwin, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So unless we are stuck in a paralysis of spirit, we can become a collateral, a trustee for a better world. There were ordinary people who were neither perpetrators nor rescuers, who became simply bystanders. The Nobel Peace Laureate and Holocaust survivor Elie Wiesel once said, "We have learned that silence is never the answer. We have learned that the the opposite of love is not hatred, but indifference. What is memory if not a response to indifference? What better way to perpetuate memory than through education? It could make the Holocaust the lesson of what should never ever happen again, and have it become the beacon for preventing other genocides. I was personally instrumental in introducing a proposed 10 million Holocaust education bill to Barney Frank that was instituted. Although education may not have achieved all the total results expected, materials on Holocaust education are available from UNESCO, centers of learning, institutions, organizations, agencies, etc., and can make education a vehicle for continuity of memory and for understanding. We have so much richness available right here in Boston from courses at universities and other schools, organizations that contribute, like Combined Jewish Philanthropies Facing History and Ourselves, and the extraordinary Elie Wiesel Center for Judaic Studies at Boston University. They perpetuate Holocaust knowledge and history not only as commemoration of victims and the horrors of the times, but our learning, and hopefully will be a lesson for the future. To quote Hannah Arendt, education is the point at which we decide whether we love the world and not to assume responsibility for it, and by the same token, save it from that ruin which, except for renewal, except for the coming of the new and beyond, would be inevitable. And education, too, is where we decide whether we love our children enough not to expel them from our world and leave them to their own devices, nor to strike them from the hands and to have their chance of undertaking something new, something unforeseen by us, but to prepare them in advance for the task of renewing a common world. I am part of the generation that is the last eyewitness to the Holocaust. I know that I have a responsibility. I speak here today not only out of gratitude or to honor the memory of the victims of the Holocaust. I speak out of awareness for the intrinsic meaning of what happens when there is denial of truth and Jews become the target. Typecasting of Jews, rewriting of history, inciting to hate and even violence is happening from kindergarten through universities. Fear has returned to the Jews not only in Israel but worldwide. The dehumanization of Jews happened during the Holocaust, and some of the same signs are here again. There are far too many misguided, dangerous individuals and governments who have not learned from history, those who make a lie the truth and truth a lie. And the losses are for all humanity, for all of human consciousness, and the paralysis of spirit. However, must not be so. I heard it said that instead of just mourning the Holocaust, what if we could stop one? And what will history say about us if we do? To quote Albert Einstein, the world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. And Hannah Arendt summarized it. The sad truth is that most evil is done by people who never make up their minds to good or ill. We must know that we are each accountable for one another. And even a small drop in an ocean can produce ripples that go on and on, no matter how small. Each action for a greater good is an intrinsic contribution. And that is why each and every one of you here is so important. We are each and every one the drop that causes the ripple. We're each a messenger and a prophet. Dennis Kucinich said, if we can change ourselves, we can change the world. We're not victims of the world we see. We are victims of the way we see the world. So see the person next to you as part of yourself. poem quote by Howard Zinn. To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is as history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, kindness. And if we do act, in however small way, we don't have to wait for some grand utopian future. The future is an infinite succession of presents, and to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, is itself a marvelous victory. So we must recognize that within us lies the spark that can ignite the best in all that surrounds us. And that the drop that creates the ripple goes on, even after it reaches the limits of the water. It continues. It continues in our memories.